In today's video, we'll be looking at 9 retirement goals you should aim to achieve before 65. At Rubino & Lang Wealth Partners, we've helped hundreds of people achieve their dream retirement goals, but we've also seen a lot of people fall short of them, often missing key factors to building their ideal retirement. That's why we're making this video today, to share the 9 retirement goals you should aim to achieve before 65, based on real-world experience with our clients. So let's get into it. Goal number 1, aim to retire as soon as possible if you're still working in your 60s. So now we put the term retire in quotes here because you may want to keep working in your 60s if that's your desire. But the goal here is to see if you can make work optional at this point in your life. When you have the financial flexibility to have the ultimate life flexibility, your work-life balance can be molded into a framework that works for you. To help achieve this goal, it's important to figure out your portfolio income needs, or PIN as we like to call it, to help determine the total net distribution amount that is needed from your retirement assets. So how do you calculate your PIN? You can get a rough idea of your PIN by totaling your yearly expenses, subtracting any guaranteed income like Social Security or a pension, and once you have that, you multiply that by the amount of years that you think you'll be in retirement. That gives you an approximate number that your retirement assets need to be at. Goal number 2, define a clear spending plan to not miss out on retirement experiences. So building off the idea of calculating your PIN, like in goal 1, you'll want to define a clear spending plan. If you can factor in the expenses of certain retirement experiences, like traveling abroad, an annual country club fee, taking the grandkids on vacation, you can help to ensure you're proactively budgeting that into your life. Housing costs, healthcare, medical expenses, transportation, groceries and dining out, entertainment and travel, and other personal expenses, they're important to know as you calculate your PIN, but it's also important to factor in the things that make retirement worth living. Goal number 3. Spend in your active years. We've noted this in a previous video, but according to the World Health Organization, in the United States of America, healthy life expectancy at birth has worsened in the last 20 years. The average number of years that a person can expect to live in full health in America is 63.9, just shy of 64. And while everyone's health situation is unique, it's an important stat to consider when thinking about those retirement experiences that we just talked about. If you start to experience a decline in your health before you've had a chance to live out the retirement lifestyle you want, you may regret it heavily. Like the old adage says, you can't take the money with you, so make sure you consider your timeline for achieving those retirement goals before you consider kicking the can down the road. Real quick, I know that it may feel like I'm flying through these right now, but we'll be going through these and other topics like this in more details in later videos, so click subscribe now. Goal number 4. Create your tax-efficient withdrawal plan. In previous goals, we discussed calculating your PIN, your portfolio income needs in retirement, but a big misstep people make is not understanding that that number is what you need to net from your retirement savings accounts. And when you look at your 401k or other pre-tax retirement accounts, that isn't the entire amount that you get to keep. There's a silent partner in those accounts called Uncle Sam, and you'll have to pay taxes on income that you take from those accounts. Not only that, but if your taxable income is over a certain amount, that might trigger other income sources to be taxed, such as your Social Security income. And if that's not factored correctly into your PIN calculations, you could be in for a world of hurt a few years from when you start your retirement. That's why starting before 65 is so important, to create a tax-efficient withdrawal plan before you start your retirement. There may be options to help alleviate your tax burdens in retirement, but some of them, such as a Roth conversion, where you have to wait 5 years after the conversion to withdraw the money without a 10% tax penalty, have particular rules that have to be followed in order to make them work in a retirement plan. The earlier you work with a professional to create your tax-efficient withdrawal plan, the more options you might have to exercise. Goal number 5, set up your Social Security game plan. Having a Social Security game plan can have a huge impact on the success of your retirement plan. If you start your claim too early, you might not have enough guaranteed income to help lower your portfolio income needs in retirement, which may prevent you from living some or most of the lifestyle that you wanted in retirement. But if you wait too late, your yearly benefit will be higher, but you risk passing away before you've recouped any of the amount that you've deferred since eligibility. We also mentioned before that if your taxable income is over a certain amount in a given year, that your Social Security benefits could be subject to being taxed as well. This could play a factor in when you should start your Social Security benefits. It might make sense to draw down larger amounts from your retirement accounts early in retirement while your Social Security benefits increase. But again, each person's situation is unique, which is why Understanding your PIN, your portfolio income needs, and speaking with a financial advisor before the age of 65 is important so they can provide you with a good analysis of your situation and make recommendations based on your unique situation. If you want extra help with your retirement goals, click on the first link in the description where the team will review your exact situation and help you develop a 365 retirement plan framework that works best for you. Goal 6. Consider your Medicare coverage options. This might seem counterintuitive since you can't start Medicare coverage until you turn 65 unless you're on disability, but you're going to want to consider what your options are beforehand so you can include them as part of your build of your retirement plan. Not only is healthcare likely going to be your largest expense in your retirement, potentially $315,000 or more over the course of your retirement, but nearly every American over the age of 65 will eventually enroll in Medicare. Making the wrong choices in Medicare could cost you thousands in permanent penalties, leave you facing high medical bills without coverage, or force you into a too expensive plan. By understanding what your Medicare costs may be now before you're 65, you can gauge roughly how those numbers will affect your PIN, your portfolio income needs. And this again helps you in figuring out if you're able to confidently build a retirement framework around the numbers that you need and then the numbers that you have saved for retirement. Goal number 7, start thinking about your estate plan. Some people conflate estate planning with the creation of a will, but proper estate planning is more than just that, and something you should definitely start to thinking about before you turn 65. Estate planning is designed not only to handle your assets upon death, but to also plan in the event of your incapacity. So if you have an inability to make decisions for yourself while you're still alive. Stats show that a 35-year-old has a 50% chance of becoming disabled for a period of at least 90 days or longer before the age of 65, and that 1 in 7 people ages 35 to 65 can expect to become disabled for 5 years or longer. Some sort of incapacity is a statistical likelihood for many people. That's why you need to have a proper plan in place to make sure that your loved ones can help you and so that your medical professionals will know your wishes. Yeah, it can be uncomfortable to think about this right now while you're feeling healthy or believe that you have plenty of time before your health starts to decline. But remember that the average number of years that a person can expect to live in full health in America is 63.9, and that's the average number. So that means that there's also a chance that you could experience a decline in your health before then. Beyond planning for any sort of incapacity, proper estate planning can help you or your family financially in the event that you have to go into long-term care like a nursing home. But similar to the tax-efficient withdrawals in Social Security planning, there are certain rules that play a major factor in your estate planning and your overall retirement planning strategy. For example, there's a 5-year rule on certain trusts that is designed to prevent people from trying to quickly transfer assets out of their name in order to qualify for Medicaid benefits. So if you wait until later in life to strategize an estate plan and 3 years after you curate your trust or will you pass away, your heirs might still have to go through probate and or certain taxes, pay certain taxes on the inheritance, and that could possibly negate any benefit of taking the time or cost to structure that plan. If you have the time to speak with a planning attorney before you turn 65, you can work together to strategize what's best for you and your loved one's interests. Goal 8, find an activity that will challenge your mind so it remains active and sharp. If you've already sorted out your financial plan for the future, it's easy to think that you're done with planning. But after the initial thrill of freedom from work, it's easy to get bored, isolated, and idle in retirement. Staying engaged in other meaningful activities as you grow older may also have important cognitive benefits. For example, a study from the Association for Psychological Science found that older adults who learned quilting or digital photography had more memory improvement than those who only socialized or did less cognitively demanding activities. Research on engagement in activities such as music, theater, dance, and creative writing have shown promise for improving the quality of life and well-being, from better memory and self-esteem to reduced stress and increased social interaction. So, take a moment to think about an activity that maybe you've thought about taking up but never had the time to do so, and find out if you can incorporate that into your retirement planning budget. Classes, club memberships, or other expenses for this activity should be baked into your retirement planning process before you retire, so you can ensure that you've allocated the proper amount towards it. Also, try to make sure that it's something new and challenges you. The goal here is to make sure that you're keeping your mind sharp and active. Goal number 9. Think about where you want to live out your retirement. Vacation home, move to a different state, get an RV and explore the country? These are just a few of the questions you should be asking yourself before your 61st birthday to help you to strategize where you want to spend your retirement. You may want to downsize your living situation. Maybe you're an empty nester. You want to lower taxes or your housing expenses. Or maybe you want to add to your living expenses or add to your living area, a place to entertain or have a place or space for the grandkids to stay overnight. Whatever you choose, it's important to consider the ramifications of your choice throughout the rest of your life in retirement. Are there physical factors to consider? Stairs, climate and weather, yard work that you might not want to do? Emotional factors, you want to stay near families and friends, or maybe you want to move to a place that you've been thinking about for years. And there's financial factors, taxes, insurance, maintenance. You need to think about all of these things, and none of them are more important than the other, which makes whatever your decision on this is, one that you really need to take the time and think about. If you can start this before your 65th birthday, or even earlier than that, it can help with your overall planning of your lifestyle in retirement. Now that you know the 9 retirement goals you should achieve by 65, you can walk away from this knowing that what you need to do to plan a successful retirement. But since this is only a generalized video, it's important to note that this type of content is not specifically tailored for your exact situation, meaning you might need to address factors other than something that's on this list to benefit your specific retirement goals. But the only way for us to help you do that is to schedule an introductory phone call. Now, this phone call will give us both a chance to make sure that your situation matches our expertise. Then, you'll work with our team to create a comprehensive strategy that coordinates all aspects of your personal and financial situation. We provide specific recommendations on how to accomplish your retirement goals. So click on the link below and book a call. Until next time, take care.